talk about how much we can charge. And this is just, again, the recommendations that you'll see right here are the bare minimum prices. So don't be afraid to charge more, but we don't want to charge less than what you will see on this slide right here. And for the initiator, again, the initiator is the first piece of content that we send to engage the fan in a storyline session or in a sexting session, to make them know, okay, this is now starting, and this is kind of the starting point for the storyline. So the initiator image or short video, first of all, it's always going to be the most inexplicit video of the whole storyline or image, and we will typically send it for free for a new account, for a new fan. If this is an old fan we've set it with before, then we can already start charging money for it, because this fan already we know is paying for that, and we can charge money for it. But if it's a new fan, if it's someone that we didn't chat with before, we usually tend to send it out for free. So this is quite important. And moving on, again, this is going to be the first PPV. This is another crucial step. So this is the first message that's going to be locked behind a paywall. And for that one, we like to keep the price very low, to engage the fan in a conversation, to warm them up for the later upselling. And that's why we like to keep the price in a range of $5 to $8, maybe $10. Not much more. For this is just to really pre-qualify them that they will spend a little bit of money, and it's not to make a lot of money on the front end, but that's just to just start the session and get them to spend a lot more money later on. So and again, if for the initiator, if that's sent to someone who you've already chatted with before, then basically the same prices apply. So if the initiator is not sent for free, then you can also charge $5 to $8 for it, just to re-elaborate on that point. Now moving on, this is when, based on the first initiator, we're going to get into the full storyline. So these, again, is going to contain both images and videos typically, and the price range, again, this is the bare minimum. You can charge a lot more, but the bare minimum is going to be $20 to $30 for an image or for a short video. So this is typically where we like to keep it, and we don't want to go below that. So this is like for the next pieces of content, what they should be charged for at least. And again, the first ones are going to be lower explicitness, they're going to be lower price, but the goal is to every message that we send should get more expensive. So we don't keep them on one price level. For example, every image is going to be $25. No, we don't do that. The first image could be $25, second one could be $35, next one could be $50, next one after that could be $60, then $70, and then the last one might be the finish, which again, this is sometimes something where we like to use videos, typically of the model playing with herself, doing whatever. These work very, very well for the finish, and that's where it's getting like the most, obviously the most explicit, the most expensive. So we like to charge at least $30 to $50 per minute for a finished video, or at least, if it's going to be an image, at least, 50 to 60. Typically, if you send an image as the last one, it might make sense to add a second image to that, to add like a carousel, and offer like a bulk discount in that way. So it's going to be like the least, the most expensive message that you'll send throughout the storyline. But these are just some recommendations for the minimum prices that we like to charge. Again, you can charge a lot more, but don't go below these prices. This doesn't make a lot of sense to sell for less than that. And I can tell you from experience that fans will certainly pay that. Not everyone is going to pay it, but the goal is also not to chat with everyone, but to prioritize the people who spend a lot and to really make a lot of money with them. And for that, it's important that we establish a high price level for these accounts, and this is exactly how you do it. Now, lastly, these are some more pro tips, so to say, which is going to help you hopefully take a chatting to the next level. The value ladder approach is basically the concept that's behind the storyline. So the value ladder basically tells us that we have content at different value stages, so at different levels of explicitness, typically for the creators who are offering like erotic pornographic content, which is the majority of creators that we're working with. Those are the best, aka the most explicit content should be reserved for the end of the storyline, and the least explicit content can be sent in the beginning. So again, this is, I've said that quite a lot already, but this is really because it's extremely important to know that. Start with the least explicit content and move your way up to the most explicit content, and increase prices every step of the way, to lead them, this is where the ladder concept comes from. So lowest price, lowest explicitness, second level, third level, fourth level, basically, however you want to take it. Prices increase and so does the explicitness of the content. So this is the value ladder approach that's behind all of this. It does also make a lot of sense, especially if we're chatting with high spenders, to keep the conversations very personal. So you can add features like the notes feature on OnlyFans, or you can change the name of the fan to something, whatever, so that you can keep the conversation very personal. So one thing that we like to do in the beginning, if a fan just subscribed to an account and this is your first time chatting with them, one of the first questions that you should send them is to ask them for their real name, because obviously the name that they have on OnlyFans isn't necessarily going to be their real name. So please ask them for it, and then change the name of this OnlyFans fan on the account to their real name, so that everyone's going to see it and you're going to use it for the future. And I'll show you exactly how that works in one of the later videos when we actually take a look at the platform. But this is very important to keep it very personal at all times, because this is going to, in the end, make the fan feel a closer connection, which is going to make them want to spend more, which is, in the end, how we are going to make them a lot of money. So keep it personal. That works very well. And then, lastly, again, this is extremely important. Don't be afraid to initiate the sessions yourself. If the fans are not going to do it themselves, then you have to do it. Otherwise, you just waste your time. You'll spend all of your time doing small talk, not selling anything. You won't make any money in commissions. We won't make any money. This is not sustainable for the long run. So initiate the session. Don't spend too much time small talking. Actively start selling. Start asking the fan to pay for it. After all, they are on the OnlyFans platform. They know it's a paid platform. They know they will need to spend to make to be active on these accounts. And don't be afraid to initiate the session if the fan doesn't do it themselves. This is really, really important, and please always keep that in mind. So this concludes the first presentation that we have, the general concept. I will see you in the next videos, and I hope this already gave you kind of a rough outline of what we're actually doing and the approach that we take.